Hello, 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 and welcome to the No Faces Comic Chat. I'm your host, Bub, and tonight with me, as always, the one, the only, the we looked for another one, but all the other ones were taken, Metarog.
Wow. I don't know what to think about that intro there, Bub. Left-handed compliments everywhere, but regardless, it's great to be here with you. This is a topic which you're going to have to carry, Bub, because I'm not the biggest Batman guy.
I know. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. Between the two of us, we ought to be full of some information, a little bit of misinformation, and maybe some Mr. Information. I don't know. All right, we'll get it figured out.
All right.
And let's see. I hate to put you on the spot right away, but let's holler out everybody that's with us in the chat.
Yeah, only two right now. We got our buddy Las Cruces, 1971 from New Mexico. Well, a third one popped in. Agu Rhythm, come on on with us. And John's Comics with Kids is in here, all the way from California.
Oh boy, good to have you from there, California. And looks like we got another one jumping in. Seawater 19.
Seawater 19 from Indiana. Yeah.
And we got hashtag Phoenix wins, which can only be agreed with hashtag Phoenix dead, because that's pretty much the two things happen most often. Phoenix wins and Phoenix dies. There you go.
I think he's probably in that competition with I forgot his channel name, but Matt's channel.
Yeah, Mr. Comics 89.
Mr. Comics 89, that's right.
Yeah. I might have the number wrong. It might be 79.
No, it's 89. He's a young man.
Is it 69?
No.
Oh, you're saying, is that the year in which he was born? That makes sense.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah. That's good. All right. Well, I thought Agu was going to join us. He's a big Batman fan.
Yeah, Agu, come on here, man.
I, for one, am shocked. That happens. Anyway, we'll hold it down. And we kind of gave away the topic already, but Roger, what's our big topic of this evening?
Topic is Batman. The title, something detectives, but I forgot what you put on there. Some kind of funny word, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, I remember. It was the Dank Knights.
Dank Knights. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I thought it was Dark Detectives or something. Okay, well, regardless.
I think that's right.
Dank Knights. Yeah, looks like that's true. Okay, yep, I was wrong.
Hashtag
Yep.
Dank Knights.
Dank Knights.
Yep.
Yep.
Kenneth Bird's in the house. Agu's at work. He can't get off.
Oh.
I don't think he's trying real hard, but
Ooh.
And there you go. And Las Cruces agrees. The Dank Knights.
Dank Knights.
Hey, Steve at I Love Disney and Comics.
Hey, Steve.
Here in the house.
Yeah, I've had some Dank Knights in the past. I'm there with you.
Yeah, living in Florida, I know that happens a lot. You guys get pretty dank down there, don't you?
Yeah, it's humid. That's true.
It happens. So what do you say we just go around Rom a little bit and we'll just shout out some Batman facts. What do you think about that?
All right, sounds good.
All right, so here's the first one. I'll start it off. Batman, if you didn't know, his real identity is Bruce Rufus Wayne. Bruce Rufus Wayne. Did you know that, Roger?
I did not know his middle name. No.
Oh, you didn't know his middle name was Rufus?
No, I did not know even how.
I was hoping you could corroborate that fact. I don't know I heard it was Rufus, but I could be wrong.
I would somehow doubt it, but I can't either confirm or deny.
And according to Agu, he's 6'2", 230 pounds. But what about Batman?
He doesn't seem that heavy to me. I mean, normally,
that heavy.
Yeah.
I'm about 6'2". I'm somewhere between 6'2" and 6'3". And at my lightest as an adult, the thinnest I ever got as an adult was 235. So I don't think 230 is too. I don't think that's that heavy.
Okay, well, maybe you know, I know later on he was very muscle bound, like in the 90s and so forth. But when I remember him in the 60s and 70s, he didn't seem nearly that heavy, you know, more, I would say 200, 210 tops, you know, the way he was drawn
Yeah,
back then.
I agree. I don't know. How do you feel about muscle bats versus you know, we'll call them detective bats, right? So what do you prefer?
Well, you know, obviously somebody in with his particular you know, hobbies, shall we say,
Yeah.
definitely it's going to be very muscular, strong, but he also has to be kind of like a, you know, like a gymnast. You know how they have those really huge arms, etc.
Yeah.
Because you know, they're pulling up on the rims and all that. So I can see that, but I think that also can get in the way. I mean, obviously he has to be quick on his feet. He has to, you know, be contortioned and all that because of the variety of villains that he has. He has to just essentially be perfect.
Yeah.
So he can't be too muscle bound because, you know, that restricts your range of motion and so forth.
It does. We got Agu weighing in. The tail of the tape is he's 5'4" and 190 pounds.
Really? I thought he was taller than that. Okay.
I thought he was shorter than that. I think he's giving himself 2 inches and 20 pounds here.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Las Cruces is 6', 228.
That's
Wow.
nice. That's pretty slim. That's pretty slim. I think.
Yeah. I'm 5'10", 195, I think.
Wow.
Well, maybe 200 because I have been eating a lot of carbs this past week. So.
Oh, I just scarfed a whole plate of lasagna before I came on here because I was in a rush between streams to get it done, you know.
Right. Hey Russ, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Super Russ 9000. Russ is a huge Batman fan. Russ,
Yes.
if you've got nothing else going on tonight, hop on. We'd love to have you. Show off a few Batman books, share your Batman knowledge. And if you've got any Batman underoos left in your collection, we'd like to see those unadorned. So,
right. Yeah, Russ has done that cosplaying, you know, as Batman on the bed and the whole bit. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russ, we're doing weigh-ins.
We're doing weigh-ins. Yep.
We're doing weigh-ins of Batman, the tail of the tape of Batman versus comic fans.
I doubt many of us, you know, outside of maybe Reggie or somebody is like fit enough to be Batman, you know.
You know, it's funny. Like I see all these guys out there, you know, some of them are at conventions, but normally not.
Right.
And I see these guys out there and I'm thinking, man, if I look like that, I'd be celebrating Halloween for like a month.
Right.
Like I would be dressing up. I'd get nothing, but I'd have a whole wardrobe of spandex and all like all the stuff that looks terrible. If I put it on now would look amazing. If I put it on, then I'd be doing it all day. It'd be awesome.
Right.
So,
right. Okay, Russ, 6'1", 270.
270. That's not bad. I think he used to be heavier though. He's lost some weight this last year.
Yeah,
so.
he's lost. Yeah, he used to. I think he used to be tipping around 300. Yeah.
Yeah. There you
go.
go. There you have it. Well, cool. All right. So we got some Batman facts there. Any other Batman facts we want to? Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Is he a superhero?
Well, I mean, strictly speaking, no. I mean, right? Well, okay. Right. It depends on how you define it. When you say super, you know, I mean, I guess you could say that he had, you know, he is super in some regards, right? In his intellect and his preparation and his focus, it's superhuman. Let's just say what it is, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
he could be successful in anything he does and anything he would put his mind to, you know. So, in that sense, it's way above an average or even a better than average human in every regard.
So, what do you think?
So,
I mean, better than average. You could troll the Olympics and find better than average.
Well, true, but I mean, he's even far beyond that because it's the different disciplines that he's so good at, right? I mean, you know, his critical thinking, his knowledge, his athleticism, his almost precognitive way of being able to tell when things are going to be occurring. To me, he's not a superhero in the powers set, you know, the sexy powers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when you think about, you know, how incredible he is in every aspect. He's like the ultimate human. I mean, he and Captain America are, hand in hand that way.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
I don't think he's.
What do you say? What do you say about him?
I don't think he's a superhero at all.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I believe that although he may be world class in depending on the writer, in every aspect he needs to be, right? For whatever it would take to solve a case or to put the bad guy away, I think he's a hero.
Right.
But I don't know about superhero. He does wear a cape. He does have a costume. He does have a persona. He does take on
that does not make you a superhero. That makes you.
It helps. It helps.
Well, what you're doing is protecting your identity and those you love. That's true because of the villain set that he has. Obviously, if the Joker knew, his family, they would be targets. Of course. But that doesn't make you super. But what that does is that makes you effective because obviously somebody is going to want to get at you, and if they can't get at you directly, they're going to get at those that you care about.
I agree. Jackson Roy Kirk says Dork Knights. Oh, that's supposed to be Dank. He's got a typo.
That's actually probably more accurate. Actually.
Oh my gosh, that's no good.
Yeah. But again, you can argue about the hero part as well. Now, depending on what era of Batman we're talking about, right? The one I know in the 60s and 70s, I know better, right? He was much more heroic. He would go out of his way to save people, and he wouldn't hurt other people, even villains, unnecessarily. But then we get to the 90s, and I think more modern version. And the guy is pretty ruthless, with his villain, so, so that is that heroic to me? No, but to others, opinions differ.
Yeah, they differ, but I think we agree that there's no way he's a superhero the way that we're defining it.
No,
right?
No, I agree with
that he doesn't have any attributes that are normal than a human is capable of, right?
I'd agree with that. But when you say capable of, yes, that's true. But it's the fact that he's so good in so many different areas, physically, mentally, etc.
So the combination of it, the fact that it's all there,
right. It's
okay.
It's I mean, you're right though. I mean, I don't disagree with you. He's not super, but he's just at the ultimate pinnacle of humans and on so many disciplines. So I mean, there are smart people and there are strong people, there are fast people, and there are very precognitive kind of people. But he puts all that together, and that's just it's almost super. It's just right at the cusp, in my opinion.
Right. All right, fair enough.
Hey Tat, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Tat? Good to have you. What a fine gentleman.
Oh, yeah. He's drawing some great stuff over there on Instagram. You got to check it out.
Oh, yeah. Boy, my camera's jumping around, isn't it?
Oh,
what's going on with it? It's
I'm not even looking at the...
It's got the twitch. It's got a twitch going on.
Oh, maybe you got an earthquake over in Kentucky.
Yeah, it says just constantly. It happens here all the time. Secret earthquakes. Yeah, we're known for them.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to showcase a few books there, Roger?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't have, listen, I have a lot of respect for this character. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, I'm just not that big of a Batman guy just because, the way that he's being portrayed is just really not to my liking. I did like the detective aspects, like in The Brave and the Bold and here in Detective Comics, where he would solve it, in some kind of really, novel way, rather than just bullying or trying to beat up some kind of snitch or something. That was, to me, was much more of a clever Batman. So I'll just say that. So I don't have a lot. A lot of my Batman really have to do with that. It's part of other sets, that I've collected. So like this is part of the Bicentennial Banner set, which I think by now everybody who sees my channel knows that I'm trying to finish up, and I actually have Nauman has my last one. He's going to be sending that to me. Again, I really like this kind of era where he'll fall into traps or something, but he'll figure out how to do it, not just bulldoze his way, not like strength or anything. It's more like his intellect and the way that he can critically think his way out of situations. To me, that was the best Superman, because it's very tough to defeat somebody who is that sharp-minded. It's my opinion, right? If your mind is super sharp and you have a knowledge of everything, you're very tough to defeat, because you already know the circumstances that precursor anything else, right? It sort of falls in line. But here, obviously he's in a sewer being attacked by rats.
I get so tired of seeing him fighting rats.
Yeah, that is a theme that is seems to be done over and over, and Spider-Man too has a couple of rat ones too. But that's part of my bicentennial set. That's not it. Here's the Brave and the Bold. Again, I did. He's not at this point. He was more of a team player, but he would get along with other heroes, Obviously, later on, he became a lot more problematic as far as he wouldn't trust people and he would be kind of aloof, etc. But here,
you mean he got dark and dank.
He got dark, right? He got dark, right? He got dark. But here he would actually seek out sometimes other people that had skill sets that he thought would be useful in cracking cases or fighting certain villains or preventing certain things. And here is Mr. Miracle. Here's a kind of a coolish cover. Again, here, why is he fighting these monsters, right? That's
really on there.
Yeah, it does look like a swampy creature, but it's actually, I think it's an alien of some sort. I forgot the story actually. But that's not really like his bag, fighting monsters and aliens, that's not the way that, I mean, you could, like in World's Finest, when he's teamed up with Superman, that would kind of work. But when he's solo, I don't think that would work that well. And here I'll end with this one, Bub, because I don't have that many more to show.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm dragging my feet with this one. Here, this is a real interesting story. I don't know if you've read this one, Bub, but actually, it's sort of like a break in the fourth wall, because this is actually the artist.
Oh, okay.
And and when there's a certain situation that he's being accosted, kidnapped, so he draws like Batman in there, and then and Sergeant Rock, and they appear, and he changes history so that he can get out of the situation. It's pretty clever little story here. So again, I like that. I like things that are novel, that sort of make you outside the normal. Hey, oh yeah, there's a villain who's robbing a bank. Oh, he's going to stop him in some other way, in some way, and then eventually we know Batman's going to be coming out on top. Here, it's a little muddying the waters a little bit. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, cool. All right. Let's see. We'll just poke out. A lot of people know Batman from his movie debut, although technically there is a Batman from a la 66 movie, but that doesn't really, most people don't count that. So Batman 89, that's pretty much where the movie lore of Batman begins, and fun stuff. I mean, that's so much was changed. But for a lot of people, that was their first real Batman experience. And so you can understand it, and although there were some truly key elements changed, I kind of like that they changed the costume to this. Like, I think it really made great strides to try to pull itself away from the campiness of the 60s,
Yeah.
I think it really, really tried hard. It may have overcorrected some, but I think, hello, Glitter, and Tat's here, and Chris is here. Good to see you all. I think it may have overcorrected just a little bit, but and I'm not a real big Tim Burton fan.
Right.
And he was pretty prolific by now and putting out a lot of weird stuff. And I'm not a huge fan of all that. But for a lot of people, this is Batman. You know, this was Batman as a kid.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I totally agree. That movie, I remember when it came out and when I went to see it with a bunch of friends, and you know, obviously I had read Batman comics quite a bit by then, and they were like, "Oh, you know, the Joker is so cool," and oh, and, you know, all this, you know, it's sort of like it sort of was an epiphany for them, right? That this particular character, and I told them about, hey, you know, there was a Superman movie that came out in '77 and all that, and oh, really? They didn't even know about that, you know, because it was sort of, it wasn't in the mind's eye at the time, you know, the zeitgeist of society, really. But when this came out, and of course with the actors that were there, you know, you're talking about Nicholson as the Joker, you know, you're talking about Keaton, who was as a rising star at that point, and who was Veronica Vale there?
Vicky Vale. I call her Vicky Vale in that one.
Yeah.
Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger, right. So again, you had some big names there. So it was, and Tim Burton, like you said, had already some fame. So you know, you bring all those elements together, plus, you know, plus the comic fans that were around who were pumping it up all over the place. It's pre-internet, but you know, you would go on like newscasts and stuff, and there would be like, "Oh, I'm the biggest Batman fan ever," you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
it was tons
in Miami,
of marketing.
I remember that. Tons of marketing, right? You had like the cups, and you had the figures, and you had the special comics, etc.
Yeah.
That really, I think that movie honestly was so pivotal to the comic expansion at that time, because it brought in a lot of awareness that, you know, wasn't there before.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still, for a lot of people, it's the starting point, right? It's like a Batman starting point. Didn't see the 66 series until after the 89 movie. Wow. It's not wow. See, like we watched the Adam West series as a family all the time. It was one of my favorite shows. It was in syndication by the time I got to it, and oh my gosh, we watched that on loop. Glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the set of those glasses. I think that's from Batman Forever. The glasses, if I recall. And then we had another key introduction to the pop culture, which is Batman Adventures, or Batman the Animated Series, as it was called.
Right.
And I think that's another big, huge time. I'm talking about times that made Batman fans, you know?
Right.
Times when people said, oh, wow, you know, that's something I need to be a part of. And this is really cool. And this is something that just, because by now, by the 90s, you're already in some heavy competition superhero wise. There are other TV shows. You've already had Wonder Woman on TV and been very popular. There were lots of kind of independent type, you know, you had The Greatest American Hero, and you had Incredible Hulk. You had The Flash had a series in the 90s as well with John Wesley Shipp. And they had the X-Men cartoon coming out.
Yep.
I mean, there was so much. Superheroes were already beginning, and you had big trading card boom too at this time, where superhero trading cards were becoming very, you know, prolific. So it was a lot going on, you know, just a lot going on. So for Batman, it would have been easy for Batman to take a backseat to all that in any other form other than the movie form, which really kind of kicks all that off, right?
Yeah.
So to have another property come out that was just as iconic and memorable as the Batman movie had been was a big deal to happen so close together, I think, and yet be separate. Yeah. So that was a big deal.
What was that, about 3-4 years after?
Yeah, I'd say this was the animated. 91 was probably the X-Men, right?
Yeah, it was early 90s X-Men. I remember that.
And so this probably came out, I'd say the animated series came out around 92. Okay. So I think they're only about a year apart. Okay. Jackson Roy Kirk with the Fast 92. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
92.
We're saying yep to Tat. And Hulk, yep, big deal. Maybe I should just point to, as their Batman. That's true. Youngsters, he says, what a kind soul. I have my Batman trading cards. Yeah, absolutely. Unruly Simeon's in the house as well. Yeah. And of course, we lost Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman for Batman, the animated series. We lost him this weekend.
Yeah. Big loss. Such a iconic voice, and what a kind man.
Yeah, super nice guy. I got the chance to meet him once. He signed a book for me, and I think it was the same convention that I got to meet John Wesley Shipp. So I got to see two of my 90s type heroes at the same time. And he was a super sweet guy. Just really nice guy. Took time with everybody, had a smile on his face, and did the voice of Batman for every single person. I mean, really? Like that, you know?
I know.
Like
I know.
People to do that, you got to really care, you know, and you got to really be true to your fans, and that's just amazing that he took the time like that. So great guy. He will be missed for sure. But yeah, those are just a couple of to me, some pop culture turning points, you know.
Yep,
for Batman.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what you
got? In here, by the way, are Comics by the Bay, another Floridian. He just went through that storm. He had he did a haul on the beach while the storm was coming through. It's hilarious. Everybody's got to watch it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like you could tell he's like, is this gonna fly away? You know, his cat flies. It's hilarious. I've seen it like 2-3 times. It makes me smile every time. And, hey, Don Mastodon's in here. Okay.
Good to have you, Donnie.
Couple things here. I mean, I don't have that much more, but a couple things. Now, this was kind of an iconic moment.
Oh yeah.
Because as I was saying before, he's avoided. I mean, he's been injured and he's been beat up and all that many times.
Yeah,
obviously. But this is the first time that he was really just essentially disabled for a very long period of time. Listen, this is the kind of thing that that would happen, right? I mean, since he is human, like we have already established, even though he's, has that ultimate attributes of almost every human, sooner or later you're gonna have a bad day, and this was a bad day, very bad.
Oh yeah.
Of course he eventually recovered and he came back better than ever, but it was shocking at the time. I remember again, I wasn't reading the series, but I did read this one because the guy kept telling me in the LCS, hey, something's going to happen to Batman that you're not going to believe, and I'm like, right. yeah, sure, right, that kind of thing. But yeah, this was pretty impactful, pretty shocking. It wasn't an imaginary story. It wasn't
not an Elseworlds cheat,
right? Not an Elseworlds, not something that was, we made a mistake, or this was another that wasn't Bruce Wayne, Batman, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So that this story I remember really was shocking. I mean, in a good way, because all of a sudden Batman is not undefeatable. He can be bested if the circumstances are right, and in this case, Bane, of course, was, just look at that guy. I mean, you could probably snap me with his pink, So again, DC. I think at this point here, we're trying to really grab the audience a little bit. Things were kind of sliding a little bit toward Marvel, so I think that they really tried to concentrate on putting together stories that would focus more on them, especially Batman and Superman.
Yep. Pitt breaks the Batman's back. I don't know that I ever seen that, or the Max, their crossover, Pitt and Batman. What are we doing? We're falling off the rails here.
We're falling off the rails. Of course, we do that all the time, right? Here's a little something I just wanted to mention, kind of out of order here, but forgive me. The time where DC and Marvel played nice and did their crossovers,
never happen again.
I don't see that happening I'm afraid. The world of comics has changed very drastically from when this was happening in the 80s, but sometimes you're thinking, okay, who would be a good pairing, or versus whatever. Like you had that Superman Spider-Man one, which is, you're really taking two most popular characters there at the time, not ones. Superman wouldn't last 2 seconds, Spider-Man with Superman normally, right? And then here you have Batman and the Hulk, and you would think, well, okay, Batman can avoid things, etc., and eventually he can use his gas to turn him into Bruce Banner. So it makes a little more sense, But again, at this point, the Hulk was being pretty popular because he was coming off his show, and of course, Batman was always popular, but at this point is when his readership started to take a turn for the positive, right up. So all I'm saying, I'm meandering. I'm sorry about that, but all I'm saying is that things like this, you can tell when a character is sort of arrived when he's being used as a marquee when there's a crossover with example for Marvel. Because they're not going to put Mr. Miracle and the Hulk, because people are like, who's that? Is that some kind of villain that the Hulk's fighting? So that tells you how iconic Batman is. And during this era, especially when he was, again, his readership was starting to take off, and they were using him. Like they could have used they could have used Captain America, I think Thor or whatever.
Oh yeah,
on the Marvel side, right? But when you're talking about let's get the biggest names that have follow through on more media than just comics, because this is not only focused on the comic reader, but also on the greater market.
Sure.
And I'm only saying that just to say, hey, yeah, Batman is a big deal when he's being put as marquee with another company on a greater scale. So,
yeah, would you say probably Hulk was the second most popular character at that time?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Yes, I would say that's fair. Because remember, Spider-Man did have some movies, etc., and he did have a Saturday morning cartoon, but the Hulk had a prime time show for various seasons.
Right.
So, that's kind of a big deal. Like Wonder Woman you were talking about, same thing. Yeah. We're talking about, as comic fans, we know these characters and we know how popular they are in that medium, but when you're talking about the more expansive medium, where you're talking about radio, TV, newspaper, etc., these characters have more crossover appeal than just for comic fans. So, hey, Ranger, how you doing? Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob, Cardstock variant. We got people are just rolling on in, rolling on through, and glad you could all stop by, say hi, and catch us on the replay. If you don't have time tonight, we get it. Yeah. It's part of the Monday night fun, really.
That's right. This was originally a treasury, by the way, but it's hard to fit a treasury on here, so I got this reprint instead. By the way,
I think I still need that treasury.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm after it.
All right, so I'm going to finish off with this because. Again, I don't read modern comics per se, right? But I did get this one here in a AOK, I believe. And the thing that gets me, this one is done by Romita Jr.
Uh-huh.
The story is actually not too bad. Okay, he's sort of being followed by these villains and trying to get him, and he gets out of the situation. But Romita Jr., I just have such trouble with his art because everybody looks like scraggly, I kind of understand the Batman a little bit because, hey, maybe something happened and he hadn't shaved that day or whatever, and he had to put on his costume and go out.
Yeah, do you know? Have you ever heard my theory on Romita Jr.'s art?
No. I don't think I remember it if I did.
I think it looks like he played with toys. I think it looks to me because they look like kind of disjointed and odd shaped and everything.
Mhm.
And to me, they look like action figures of the day, like a G.I. Joe, where it has the segmented body parts, skinny little legs, a big puffy chest. Like to
Right.
me, that's what they look like because
Yeah.
he almost always puts a big chest on them, and kind of these scraggly little, and the joints are all very hard, like the knee
Yeah.
bends right, like that, and
Yeah.
it's all very
Yeah.
as if it was posed with action figures. That's how it looks to me.
I never put that together, but now that you say it, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
We'll see.
Because his art has like the stiffness to it, but it also has like this scraggliness to it. Like, for example, it's not clean art. It's very kind of sketchy in some ways.
Yeah, for sure.
But sometimes just the face, you see the face of the guy, and it's like I saw his Wolverine and X-Men, and again, it looks like he's got like a 4-day shadow on there, and I think it's supposed to be that's not hair. That's sort of like supposed to be like the lines, the facial lines, etc. And anyway, so it didn't work for me. The art here did not work for me.
I'm with you.
But again, this All-Star Batman though, I have read some of them. The stories are, I'd say, average to better than average.
Now I think the All-Star Superman run is supposed to be quite good.
Right. I haven't read that one. Yeah, I haven't read that one.
I've not read that one either, but
but
my understanding that as far as Superman fans, tout it, that it's fairly good. So
right. At least the ones I've read of this one, he doesn't seem to be like that violent. But he, like, for example, in this one, he does get out he stabs this guy in the leg with a batarang, But I mean, it was sort of like necessary because otherwise he would have, been like hit with the laser or something or other.
But on the cover there, that's Batgirl attacking Poison Ivy.
The face does look a little feminine. That's true. But no, that's Bruce Wayne, I do believe. But okay, but this is what this is my point, Bub, and I'm gonna ask you because I'm ignorant to this, right? Okay,
I doubt
it. So Batman, okay, during the 90s, he took that dark turn, right? Started perhaps with Miller, I guess, and then it went on.
I think it's a little earlier than that personally, but yes.
Okay, all right, maybe that's so. All right, then you hit this one here, and the Rebirth Batman. What was there was some kind of soft reboot there at some point, I'm assuming, because
I think Rebirth is before the New 52 run, so it was it was an earlier failed reboot attempt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, because it sort of it wasn't that 90s and later Batman that I remember, and it's not the more modern Batman either.
It's kind of its own thing. The Rebirth series is kind of its own world, and then the New 52 tried again, and they kept a couple of Rebirth themes, but they revamped it again. And then I think when that imploded, they might have went back to legacy numbering. I'm not sure, but they really just pretended that Rebirth and New 52 kind of didn't happen, and people that's what I was saying. So New 52, all right, so I had them confused.
You had them backwards. Okay,
backwards, so New 52 didn't take, and so Rebirth came instead, and it just wasn't good.
Okay, all right,
and that's after Final Crisis. Look at this 52 after. So we're not going down this rabbit hole tonight.
No,
but we could for another show. We could talk about all the ridiculous reboots of oh goodness gracious, get that off there. No faces.
Oh, sorry. Is that a face? I don't know if it counts as a face.
I think it's at least a head.
Oh, there's another face. We're gonna do
That counts. That's okay. You can show
That's
that
okay.
one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
How you doing, Simon?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great. Great to have you here, man.
Thanks. I'm just here for the ride to hang out. What's up?
Did you have all your bagging and boarding done this evening?
All done, mate. All done.
Wow.
Except for some of the books that are a bit thicker that wouldn't fit. So I got to maybe get some Silver Age bags for those.
Makes sense. Well, you got any bat books or knowledge you want to display tonight?
Yeah, I just went just randomly. Is there any criteria these bat books need to meet?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Okay.
If as long as you got something to say about it, we want to hear it.
Oh, well, first one here is stop me if you've seen this one before, Bubs. But this is a beautiful Jenny Frison Batman, right?
It's horrific.
Bubs?
Yeah. The Batman's not bad. It's the turtle without a shell Superman that I'm not crazy about.
It's kind of a skinny neck for Superman, isn't it?
It's terrible
compared to some of the other Supermen we've seen, right? But
the Batman's good. Batman's really good.
Yeah, I think the Batman's good on that.
Yeah, Batman's really good.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I've got nothing really a lot to say about many of these. I literally just randomly went and grabbed a bunch of Batman books that I could find within a few minutes. This next one's maybe my favorite Batman cover as far as like the way it looks and things. So I can't even see the chat. This is a very dark cover, but I just think it looks
Perillo or
this is, I think it's a Matina.
Yeah, maybe? I can't tell the difference. They use so much dark color on those that I can never tell the difference between them.
But Matina is very digital, most of his stuff.
Oh, okay.
But Perillo, you see him actually paint a lot of his stuff. But I just think that's just such a menacing. It reminds me of that scene in the Batman when he comes out at the start from the darkness. Huh? Good cover? No?
I like it.
Okay.
It's different.
It's different. What's so different about it?
It's very dark. I mean, it's hard to tell. Hard to tell what he is doing there. If anything.
Well, wouldn't you expect to see Batman in real life like this, just in the shadows, right?
No.
Well, yeah, in real life, but I won't.
Yeah. I think that to me represents.
Like, I don't want to see like an allegorical Batman. I want to see the actual.
Yeah, I think that's what Batman wants you to see. Like, that's the way I take it. Like, that's when Batman shows up, this is the fear he's trying to put into the eyes of the wrongdoers, Like, it's I'm taking it a little outside of itself. Well, maybe it'll work.
All right. Well, what about hang on, I feel like I might have shown this one last time I was on the No Faces chat, but Bubs will know the story of this one, right? You know the story of this book, right?
Yes. When Simon was a child, his mother used this book to pad his crib. They were overprinted. There were just so many of them, and everyone who bought it and read the story returned it to the shop. So it was cheaper than newsprint. And that's what she normally used in case he had an accident. Is that right?
Close.
All right.
It was the first Batman issue I bought, but this was not the cover that I first bought. I preferred this cover, but at the time they were sold out of that cover. So I actually bought the variant. And at the time, I didn't know what a variant was. So this is the variant. This is Arthur Adams, I think. Right? Maybe? But,
yeah, maybe.
That's actually the first Batman floppy I bought a few years back when I first got into comic books. And I hated this cover because I was like, this is meant to be the wedding issue. I didn't understand what a variant was. So I was like, why has this got nothing to do with the wedding on the front? Even though it was like a big deal issue. And then someone was like, it is got to do with the wedding. He's alone. Which kind of spoiled it for me, but
weird rib cage action there.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one.
who is that, Simon? Who did that cover?
Pretty sure
he says Art Adams, but
Art Adams, really?
I think it's someone after Art Adams, surely. No, Art Adams.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm not a huge Art Adams fan, I gotta tell you.
That doesn't look like his earlier stuff that I recall from.
I don't care for much of his stuff.
Well, there you go.
It surprises me too, because it surprises others. People always say, "Oh, you like Art Adams, right?" Because he does a lot of good girl art. But the faces he puts on those girls, I don't know what they're supposed to be. They look like dumplings or something. It's just terrible.
This is just a random variant I found while I was looking for Batman books.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
That is Battinson.
Yeah, the Batman, you say?
The Batman.
Yeah.
So when the movie came out, they did a bunch of these movie variants, and again, there was a couple of them I wanted, but I was like, you know what, just buy one, just so you have one. You know, I'm getting better, Bubs, at not buying everything.
Oh yeah, congratulations.
There's one of them on the bike, and but this is the one I chose. It's pretty cool. Did you like the new Batman, Metarog, Roger?
I have not seen that movie yet, I'm afraid.
Interesting. Bubs?
I have not seen that. I have not seen Twilight Batman yet.
I thought it was good. Now I rewatched it. I liked it better the first time, so I didn't watch it a third time because I was afraid that my rating would continue to drop.
Okay,
I found it to be very self-important and very serious, and they're trying to make it the opus of Batman, and it just wasn't. But you know, it definitely. I saw a lot of people saying it was a perfect 10. I'm like, you guys are out of your freaking minds. You know,
I loved it in the cinemas, but I haven't rewatched it yet, and I plan to rewatch it while building my Lego Batmobile. But I'm interested to see what I think the second time around. So that is that. I've got this one, which again was courtesy of Bubs. I bought this one off Johnny Boy on Instagram to add to the Kids Cover collection, and got it sent to Bub so Bub could send it to me.
Yeah, well, actually, that's not the actual copy that you bought, but
you've got that
slightly
one, right?
lower grade. I kept the other one.
Yeah, that's the price I pay.
Nice.
Yeah, is the price I pay.
Oh, yeah. That's a Kiss cover Simon's got to have, of course.
That's a good one.
Is that
Is that Death? Is he kissing Death?
No, that's not Death. I don't know who it is. It could be Talia. It's definitely not Death.
Oh, Nocturna. It's Nocturna. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Nocturna.
Correct. Yes,
that's
Gray
it.
Man got it. Yeah.
Gray Man was telling me that a little while ago. Actually, yes.
Thank you, Gray Man.
Correct.
Nocturna.
Bundle of knowledge, that man. And then we got this one. Came across this one. Batman White Knight. Anyone read this?
I did not read that. Is that where the Joker is Batman and the Batman is Joker or something like that?
Nah. So it's just they kind of turned Batman into the bad guy. Where really he's not. It's just Batman being Batman. Like Joker, like he gets looked at as the bad guy because he destroys the city while he's chasing down his goons and stuff like that. And then like Joker becomes really liked, and his Joker becomes like a good guy sort of thing. It's a weird one. I liked it. I thought it was a good story, but they've done like this is its own. It's got its own universe now. There's like the White Knight universe. But I've got a lot of them, but I haven't read anything beyond this first volume. But
must be a real page turner.
Well, no, the second one looked like it was like a period piece because there was like pirates or something, but apparently that's just one issue. But that kind of put me off just seeing the cover for that one. But I do plan to read them because I really did enjoy this when I first read White Knight. It's got some great covers in it too. I've just got one more here that I happened to stumble across, and it's a nice little homage.
Of all the ones that came out, they had those Harley homage covers that came out. Yeah. This is the one I like the best. Yeah. And I still kind of wish I'd got it. Like
I've got two, Bub.
Oh, they're all over. They're still available. I just didn't pick one up, but I liked it. I have to say.
Wow. I should have brought the facsimile. It could have been, But I thought that was definitely again same one. It was the best one for sure. Out of all the homages.
They did a great job on doing the old style Batman on that.
I think that might be original, and they just plaster her in.
Oh, okay. Because I would say that is spot on. That Golden Age Batman.
I think what they did with these homages were they just added her. They erased whoever was in the way and added her.
Okay.
So like that's Bob Kane doing the rest of that. Although it's not really Bob Kane, is it?
Not right. Supposedly it's not. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's supposed to not be Bob Kane. I forget who.
Supposedly he took credit for it, but
yeah.
But again, let's not open that can of worms.
No, we're not doing that. I like that one. I might go ahead and buy that one tonight.
Oh, actually, wait! I just found another one right next to me.
Thanks, Simon. We appreciate your time.
That as well.
Oh,
This
see,
is
Batman, Dear Detective.
This is Lee Bermeo, and apparently, so what it is it's a collection of his art. Like a lot of them are like Batman variant covers, but somehow it's been turned into a story or something like that. So yeah, I bought it. I haven't really read it yet, but I'm pretty sure that's the story behind this. It's a collection of Lee Bermeo art and somehow turned into a story.
Hey, Slim. I think it's pronounced
Sean.
Lee Brohemio.
What?
I think it's pronounced Lee Brohemio.
When I first started my channel, I used to call him Lee Bermanjo.
Well, you've come a long way, my friend.
I have. There you go. Me.
I was going to show you this quick. I picked up this Batmobile at a
Right.
thrift store kind of thing.
I want that.
I mean,
We
it was
sell
still
that at
new in
work.
package, but it's the Batman, the Pattinson or whatever it's called.
I love that Batmobile.
Yeah, I thought it was the best part of the movie was the Batmobile.
They built up. They built it up.
Yeah, I don't just mean that. Oh well, the car was the only thing good about the movie, but the way that they presented the car and its presence and the things it could do, I thought were all really cool and well done. And that lights up. It's actually a remote control car.
Oh, it's a remote control. Okay, that's not the same one. So my work sells like just the model one, and I've been wanting to get it.
So that lights up there, and it has like let's see, so it runs pretty good. And then it calls it a Papa Wheelie action, but it really just looks like a horny turtle on its back, but it does that. So
that looks like a 70s muscle car.
yeah. Well, if you see this coming your way, Roger, just be careful.
Oh, I have my own Batmobile here to play with. I got this. Let's see, how does this thing work?
Let's see that.
Yeah, I got this thing at one of those Goodwill outlets.
Are we showing off Batmobiles?
Yeah, hold on. Here it is. Hold on. It has those things that come out, and then it's supposed to do noises, but it's not cooperating right now.
You gotta push the button just right, Roger.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I guess the batteries are low, but this thing is cool as heck too.
I like that. Yeah, I'm kind of a sucker for Batmobiles. We don't want to get into a Batmobile show. I've got too many to show for the Batmobile.
Hey, we got to have Roger Wheatley on here, Crime Alley Comics. He's got like
he's got all the what are they called? I've got one of them, but he's got like the entire set of every single generation and goes through the differences.
Yeah, the corgis.
Yes, those ones. Yeah, yes,
corgis,
I've got one of those.
Yeah, he's got an amazing collection of Batmobiles. Amazing.
Oh, that's great.
He's having a contest too, so everybody go over there, Crime Alley Comics. You never know where you might win.
All right, let's show a few more books. Cleanse the palate here. I was going to talk about their villains, Batman villains, just real quick. We're not going to get into all of them, but I think it's one of the things that it makes Batman stand out above others. Is that I think he has just a great rogues gallery. Of all heroes, I think his rogue gallery really stands up against anyone's. So there you go. And this book was so good that I lost almost a third of it.
Keep going down, bub. Keep going down.
Isn't that terrible?
How much was that?
Huh?
How much you pay for that?
How much? What did I pay for it, Roger? Like $50?
$50, yeah.
At $50. Yeah, they wanted like 75, I think, and I said I'd give you 50, and they were like sold. I was like, dang it.
Yeah, no, I think they had it for 100, bub, and then
yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. And the guy said, 75, and then he was like, Bub was like, and then I was like, Bub, just offer him 50 if you're comfortable. And he did, and he took it.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, any more than 50 and I'm leaving without it. And he was like, yeah, 50 sounds good.
Yeah, Bub and I talked like half an hour before he bought that book. We were like going back and forth, plus, minuses, all this stuff.
Yeah. And I said, I feel like at $50, I could get my money back for it if I ever wanted to, even down the road. If I kept it for a few years and finally upgraded to a proper copy, then I could probably sell it for $50, right? So Well, I went up there. I really did not expect him to accept, and there it goes.
50.
It's in good shape otherwise, but yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a perfect shape. If it was all there, it'd be even better. And then, of course, we got Man Bat, another great villain for me, and also one of the first, I think, the first villain on the animated series. Is what made me a fan of old Leather Wings. And then, and of course, just Neil Adams, and that's another thing I wanted to mention was the artists that take turns at Batman. I think the Neil Adams run is just so iconic. It's like Infantino Flash to me, like or even a Boland Wonder Woman. You know, sometimes an artist takes a hold of a run and just makes it so good that you have to take notice. Whatever else you might be collecting or reading, you just have to notice it. And I feel like Neil Adams did that for Batman. Just really brought it out.
Yeah, agreed. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Really.
We got Catwoman here. Let's see what else. We got. Let's see. Are you big Catwoman fan there, Simon?
Yeah, huge.
Huge. Do you have this one? Do you want me to send that to you?
I'd love that one.
I know you're into Kiss covers. So and then we've got, of course, number one. Simon, didn't you recently? You've probably already lost it, but didn't you recently get some sort of homage cover to this, also done by Boland?
You mean this better version of that cover?
Oh my gosh!
The one-uppance.
Oh, what do you think, Roger? Which one are you picking off the rack?
They're both pretty good. The selfie one is clever.
Can you
done
believe
by
that
Boland as well?
Yeah, it's the same artist.
Yeah. Cool.
It's just
cool.
terrible.
Well, his Joker's aged as well, you know? This is like Joker,
Yeah.
40 years on or something?
I like the curly cute chin. That's a nice touch.
the old John Travolta. That's fantastic.
Hey, if Popeye shows up, they're gonna have a competition. You know?
Oh my gosh! All right, we're giving Simon too much heck over that. I'm sorry, Simon. I apologize. Oh man. Let's see. We got. And that's it. That's all I was going to show for them. They're bad guys. Let's see. Amish cover. The old Amish covers. All right, Roger. What did you want to show us? Ooh, that's a good one. Is that one of those?
Don't have anything to show.
Is that the lenticular cover?
Yeah, that's a lenticular cover there. That's what is that? The reverse flash. Again, this rebirth thing just throws me for a loop because the history that I know sort of went out the window. So I have to when I'm reading this, I have to think about, okay, this is not the reverse flash that I remember, et cetera, et cetera. But you're right about the Rogues Gallery, though. I mean, I think, you could say Spider-Man, obviously has a great one. I think. Yes,
he does.
Somebody said Daredevil. Daredevil's is okay. I
not as iconic.
Category. Yeah. But Batman, I think, as far as personalities and characters, has it over all of them. So.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good cover though. I like that one. Let's see. History went out with 52.
Yeah. I mean, and to me, that's very confusing because I'm big on the continuity, or at least my memory of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So when this came out, it was like I didn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. Let's put it that way.
I hear you. It is troubling. Well, that's pretty much all we had. I was gonna throw this one up there as a final thanks, little rights in action there for old Batsy. All right. Well, you guys want to talk any more Batman, or are we good? It's been an hour. We can shut her down.
I'm out, man. I'm out.
All right, we're shutting her down. Simon, you were the last one in, so you can be the first one out. If you got you got anything showing up on your channel? I know you're trying to get some hours. You got any giveaways or anything going on? Well, what's going on in the simple verse?
No, I released a video last night with Mark talking about how the business has been since COVID's now over. We took a look back through the COVID years, and just my weekly comic calls. That's all I got planned so far at the moment.
Well, good. We look forward to seeing all that and more on Simple Simon's channel, which is now named Simple World. I think, is that right? That's not right. That might be the children's bookstore for underachieving youths. The Simple World. Yeah. Wood Blocks Are Us, I think it's called. Roger, what do you got going on your fine channel?
Well, first of all, Tat said he really wants to do the show, so maybe you can add him to the Instagram.
Is he not in the chart there?
I don't know, because I love to be on with Tat. I don't think I've ever been on with Tat, and he was one of the guys I would watch even before I had a channel. So I'd love to be on with Tat.
Sounds good.
So
and his show inspired this show.
Oh,
he used to go live at lunch.
That's right.
I think it was Mondays. Right. He would go live lunch on Mondays, and that was before Comics with Bueller was doing his Monday morning show, and he would do live Mondays. And I was like, man, it's really nice to have something to look forward to on Mondays. And then he stopped because, life gets in the way, and he's got the kiddos and everything. So he stopped doing the show, and I missed it. And I was like, you know what? If no one's going to have a show regularly on Monday, I'll have one. That sounds like a nice day, something to look forward to after a long day of work. So that's what happened. And so here we are. So Tat, you're always welcome.
Oh, that's great. So Tat, you are the inspiration here. You're a very big part of this show. And I wasn't even aware of that, Bub. So, but I do remember his Monday stuff though. You're right. I do remember. I used to watch that as well.
Good stuff.
I don't have that much going on. I mean, on Thursday, I'll probably have, I think I'm going to do some kind of special video. On Saturday, I'll be on Gray Man's channel with Cover Slingers on Saturday at 2:00. And I think that's everything that I have.
I just want to say to Mark the Cutty Shark, if he does watch the Bagging and Boarding stream, you shouldn't watch it. I didn't say anything about Perth.
He did. He said terrible stuff about Perth.
I didn't say anything about Perth.
He did.
No. He did. It was jokes. I was just joking. Perth's a great place to visit if you're going to come to Australia.
Uh-oh. Is there a Melbourne-Perth kind of rivalry? I don't know.
No, well, BUB'S was just saying he's going to come to Australia. So, cool, where are you going? He said Perth. I was like, what? Why would you go to Perth? And then I was like, oh, wait, Mark. I hope Mark doesn't see this. And then BUB'S is like, Werewolf is watching. He's from Perth.
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh, shit. Sorry.
Uh-oh. You see what trouble you get in, Simon? Just, like somewhat innocuous statements like that.
I know.
It wasn't me. It was him. It was him all over. No way. Hey, Tat, I think I added you to the chat. I'm not quite sure. The art looks like yours. Do you have a bunch of kittens you've been doing these days? I think I've got you on there. If it's a bunch of kittens, I think I've got you. Just put in the chat, yes, a bunch of kittens, if that's you. If not, we've got some weirdo here.
It's going to be doing a tat imposter.
Yeah, a tat imposter.
Yeah, I tell you, those doppelgangers are everywhere, man. You got.
Oh yes, absolutely. Those doppelgangers. Yep, the old doppelgangers. I see this guy
on Russ's channel. It looks like Simon. It says Simply Super or something. You have to be careful.
That's true. I do worry about them collaborating too much.
Yeah,
they're going to just start running together.
I tell you.
Oh well. All right. So what do I have coming up on my channel? You ask. Oh wait, hold on. We got to
tell us. I'm sure.
Good grief. Oh. Hey, that looked just like my car. Mine had the same thing. Oh, wait, I turned it off, so I'm going to have to coax it out.
Ready? Oh, it has a little blade. Nice. My Mach 5 has a blade.
That is great. Oh man. All right, guys. We're having too much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's on my channel, you ask? Oh, not a whole lot. Just some hauls and some fun. And this we went to a concert last week, Friday, and we had my son's birthday party Saturday, and Sunday watched football and hung around the house. And then this week I've got to go to the office tomorrow. So
This isn't a personal blog here, Bub. We want to know what YouTube stuff you have up. You know what I mean?
Well, I was getting to that.
Okay.
So, so tomorrow I got to go to the office, which means I have to go to a real city. So my plan is to potentially try and see if Jambo is not too busy and meet up with him for dinner tomorrow night, maybe. So if you're out there, Jambo, and you don't want to have dinner with me tomorrow night, do not answer your phone over the next 2 hours. So if you see my number or any number you don't recognize, because I might try various phones. Oh
man.
But I was gonna see if he wanted to go dinner and then maybe hit up a few shops or something, in the area. Huh?
You going to Lexington?
Yeah, I'm going to Lexington tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got to go to the office. They want to see me every now and then. It's rare, but they want to see me. So that's the hopeful comic journey. And then if I pick up anything, I'll show that off Wednesday or Friday. And then on Saturday, we're going to the hockey game. So we'll be at it. We'll be in Nashville Saturday. So if anyone's out there and wants to hang out with me in Nashville and buy me a beer, let me know. I'll be in the area. Maybe I'll find a comic shop there too. So that's my goal this week, is a couple of out of town comic hauls, which I really enjoy that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Finding new shops and digging around. So that's it. So just the tip. Thank you, Tat, for that. All right. That's all we got for tonight. Simon wants to, yeah, that's right. TAT. Yeah, I thought that was it. All right. We're good. So Simon, what do you want to tell the fine folks at home?
Don't apologize for the glare.
Oh, that's what I tell the fine folks at home.
Sorry. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Keep it simple. Yeah. And let's see, Roger, I know you want to tell the fine folks at home something as well, don't you?
Yeah. Be kind to each other. Be blessed. Very important. And be back next week. Right here.
On the
on Bub's Comics.
Yeah,
right here. Bub's Comics. You were Bub's World for a little while, then
now I was going through a phase.
You had an identity crisis, I heard, and then you came back.
Yeah, it was a final identity crisis with 52 rebirths.
Okay.
But now we're here.
Well, you have my condolences. I was confused as well. So
thank you. And remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.
Lenticular